any one of Liézel Elsa's 2,500 followers on Instagram are faced with really inspiring, beautiful pictures every day. And that's because she gets to capture the wishes coming true for the Reach for a Dream Foundation. I'm joined on Google Hangout by Liézel to talk about her really inspiring work. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me, when I'm on your Instagram account and I see a beautiful picture of a child being granted a fabulous wish, what am I looking at?
I think you are looking at a very small snapshot of my life and me being able to capture what I do for an amazing organization. The Reach for a Dream Foundation. I mean, they've been around for 25 years, and for me to be able to have sometimes a whole day with them, to see what they do, it's an honor to actually just capture on photos what they do for these children. They rely on donations, and seeing a child's face and being able to post that on Instagram and share it with the world. It used to just be South Africa, but now it's the world that's following me on Instagram and showing them this is what it looks like. Look at this. Look at this child's going through, and it's just an amazing feeling. And sometimes it's really hard. I mean, my primary, focus is to take photos with my camera, but I always try and sneak in my phone and just quickly take a snapshot where I can, just to show people that there's good out there.
Liézel, take us back to the basics. What are these wishes that you're photographing? What does the organization do exactly?
If I have to tell you in a few sentences, is they have assessors who go around to hospitals. They collect wishes for children that are living with life-threatening diseases. So obviously there are a lot of sick kids, a lot more than I ever could imagine. And only once you join this team, it really hits you and it becomes a reality. So doctors, together with the foundation, try and assess which children need it most. Of course, they would like to make dreams come true for every single sick child out there. And once they fill in a form and they'll ask them questions, from simple things like what's your favorite color, what's your favorite takeaway or restaurants, or what would you really want? And a lot of them ask for things like PlayStations and televisions and things like that. And then you get the dreams where they want an experience, like they want to meet with South Africa.
Now, despite the fact that these children are living with and fighting through terminal illnesses, these pictures that you share with the world are hopeful and inspiring, and more often than not, there are massive smiles on these photographs. What does it feel like being in the midst of such joy, despite the fact that it's a sad situation?
Most of the time I know what the dream is. So I know that there's a laptop waiting in the car, or they're going to meet some famous soccer player. And they have no idea what's waiting. They filled in their application, but they have to give more than one dream, because obviously if they can't fulfill the first one, they need to move on to the other. So I know what's waiting for them, and their faces in that anticipation, and they're like not sure what is going on here. And I think that's enough for you to forget for that day and help them forget that day that they are ill. On that day, they're not sick. They are a child who's getting spoiled because they deserve it. And I'm just there, fly on the wall, trying to capture as best I can what I see. And what I see, there are smiles, there aren't tears. Nobody's talking about hospitals or sickness or blood transfusions or anything bad. It's just positive.
Now, you must have a favorite story or a few favorite stories. Can you share a dream with us that really touched you?
The one that was just amazing, and some of the dream makers are still talking about it, there was a young boy, I think he was about 11. He wanted to be a judge for a day. So the Joburg High Court agreed that he would be able to come in as a judge for the day. And he sat on, he was in the judges' chambers. He met all the judges, including the judges, that are working on some of our country's biggest and most famous court cases. And there was an appeal case where you got to sit on the bench next to the judge, and even had the opportunity to say what he thought about the sentence. And he felt that the judge wasn't harsh enough, and he actually wanted to give the culprit a longer sentence. So that was an amazing experience. They really went all out. They gave him, things, pointers, and told him what he should study. And he was just smiling the whole day. It was a beautiful dream. And then the second dream was a small girl, she's about 4 years old, and her dream was to record an album. So we went to a sound studio in Parktown, and she wanted to sing some of Lyra's songs. So they played some of the songs, the backtracks. They put her in a real sound studio, and she got to record an album with her family watching, with headphones on, singing her little heart out. And those photos just gave me goosebumps while I was taking them. She was singing with her eyes closed, and her friends got to join her, and that was just watching her, listening to her album. It was just beautiful.
Now, Liézel, you're quite a social media activist. You're quite present on lots of social media platforms. Do you find that you're able to get your work out and get the word out about the foundation through this medium?
I definitely do think so. Like I said, at first it was just locally, which is great, and we have great hearts in South Africa that we forget about. But it definitely has helped, even if it's just an awareness. For me, I knew about the foundation because I knew someone who was helped by the foundation about 20 years ago. So I knew a little bit about it. But seeing now what they are doing, I'm able to use the online audience that I have and show them what they are doing. And if out of my 100 tweets or 500 Instagram photos, one person can help someone in the foundation or make some kind of contribution or just spread the word, I think that's enough. I have people in America, messaging me and asking me about the foundation and what they do and how they could help, and that's just amazing.
So, Liézel, for our viewers who are watching, how can they contact you, the middleman, to make a contribution or to find out more about your work and, of course, the work of Reach for a Dream?
I think the easiest way for people to get hold of me or the foundation is obviously to Google the foundation. You will find them on social media as well. They're very active on Twitter, so definitely follow the foundation. And my Instagram handle is LIEZ3L. And there you will see my posts, which are mostly pictures that I post on my shoots where I'm going. And that's where you will see what the foundation is doing and what it's all about.
Well, Liézel, here at News 24 Live, we are massive fans of your work, and we'll keep following on your adventures and the adventures of the children who are helped by Reach for a Dream. Thank you so much for speaking to us today.
Thank you so much.